You know, I wish I could start off with better news about what's happening in the country right now. I love speeches that are positive and optimistic from the very start. But I think you have to tell people the truth about where we are right now, and America's in crisis. If you've seen what's happened today and the ups and downs, the turbulence in world markets, as the world has looked at America, they've lost some confidence in America. And unfortunately, that stems from the fact that we elected as our president a person we didn't know very well. 3 years ago, the people of America elected someone who didn't have much of a track record that we could look to. He was an eloquent speaker, talked about bringing America together, bringing a new civility, and so we decided to take him at his word. But he'd never run anything. He hadn't pioneered legislation or a philosophy that was picked up and made a difference in America. Instead, he was able to capture our support, became the president of the United States, and there were people who said, I wonder what will happen if we choose as president a man who has no experience. Now we know. And it's not a very positive thing. You have 25 million people in America, the richest nation in the world, that are out of work, stopped looking for work, or are in jobs well beneath their skill level. 25 million. The president passed a stimulus, pushed a stimulus, and signed it soon after being inaugurated, that he said would hold unemployment below 8%. It would just, get to 8% and then come tumbling back down. It's not been to 8% since. It's been above that level. And virtually everything the president has done as president has made it harder for entrepreneurs to begin businesses, and small businesses to get bigger, and larger businesses to expand. I was today in Pella, and the folks at Vermeer were kind enough to bring together 10 or 20 business leaders from manufacturing and non-manufacturing, banking, other insurance, and other areas. And we went around the table and asked each of them to give me advice as to what things they do to make things better. And in almost every single case, they described things that this government is doing that's making it harder for business. And the reason I'm concerned about how things are tough for business is because businesses hire people. And people are the key to America's strength and growth and dynamism. And you've got a lot of people in this country that are hurting, that are suffering by virtue of the president's policies. You might think, well, what did he do that was so bad? My answer is, well, almost everything. When it comes to the economy, almost everything. His stimulus didn't create private sector jobs. We lost over 1 million private sector jobs and added 138,000 government jobs. That wasn't the stimulus we needed. And then there was Obamacare. Do you know any business in America that said, I think I'm going to hire more people because there's Obamacare around? Just the opposite. And then cap and trade, he pushed for that to make energy more expensive. Did that add jobs? No. And then, of course, there's Dodd-Frank. Complete re-regulation of the financial service sector. Did that make banks decide to give more money out as loans? No. Just the opposite. Almost everything he did conformed with his view that government knows better than people. And he's wrong. I don't know where he gets his inspiration politically. It may be from Europe, where the Social Democrats have this view that government can guide the economy and do a better job of managing people's lives in some cases. I believe in America. I think Europe got it wrong and we got it right. I believe in American freedom and American opportunity. When this country was founded, and the founders crafted this nation, we focus on one part of the freedom we were given, which is our political freedom. Critical, that is, because we have the right to choose our representatives in government. But there's another part of our freedom that's also important, and that is our economic freedom. We not only choose who represents us, we get to choose what our course in life will be. And by virtue of those combined freedoms, political and economic freedom, people from all over the world have come to this country because they knew this was the land of opportunity. Freedom seekers, pioneers, innovators are what have driven our economy past the economies of Europe and the economies of larger nations like India and China. Freedom. I love free enterprise. I love American-style capitalism. Anybody here work in business? Yeah, that's what I thought. I like you guys, all right? I don't think the president likes you very much. I'm just kidding about that, but I sometimes wonder. I like what you do. I like the fact that you hire people, that you pay taxes, that you grow our economy. Good things come from a strong economy, like good jobs for our people, good jobs for our kids coming out of school, the ability to fund a military that can protect our security and our liberty, the ability to fund good schools and care for our seniors. I love businesses and free enterprise and capitalism. I love the Constitution. And all the amendments. Governors have one of their favorites, by the way. It's the 10th Amendment. Governor Ray, you back there? There he is. He's sitting down. Governor Ray would know the 10th Amendment. It says roughly this. It says, powers not specifically granted to the federal government are reserved by the states and the people. So the federal government's powers are limited. I wish the folks in Washington would read that carefully and recognize that they're not supposed to intrude in the powers that were reserved to the states and to the people. The brilliance of our founders giving us our freedoms and setting up this federalist system where states get to compete, become laboratories of democracy. I have to tell you a story. I learned just how much states compete. I was a new governor. Arnold Schwarzenegger came to my state, put up billboards in Massachusetts with him, you know, big muscles, and it said, come to California. He was trying to poach jobs and employers from my state. So I put up billboards in his state. And it had me in a t-shirt flexing my muscles. And it said, smaller muscles but much lower taxes come to Massachusetts. States compete. We learn from one another. I love the greatness of America. I know that it's fashionable in some circles to be cynical about America and about the American people. I know we face real challenges. But I'm inspired by the patriotism of our people. Whether Republican or Democrat, we love America and sacrifice for this land when called upon to do so. We're the only people on earth, so far as I know, who during the playing of our national anthem put our hand in our heart. That tradition was begun under FDR, who asked us to do that in recognition of the blood that was being shed by our soldiers in foreign places. We are a patriotic people, and I know we face great challenges. We face a deficit of $14 trillion. We face unfunded liabilities of $62 trillion. Jihadists who would kill us. A resurgent Russia given their energy resources. And a rising China given their extraordinary population. We face real challenges. And yet I'm convinced that given the patriotism of the American people, that if we choose leaders who will tell us the truth and lead with integrity and who actually know how to grow America and preserve our values, that this country will remain as it has always been, the greatest land on earth and the hope of the world. Thank you so much. Great to be with you, friends, tonight. Get out there and do your duty. And I look forward to your support when the caucus time comes. I need a few votes. I want to get the delegates from Iowa. Thanks, you guys.